Accenture slashes 11,000 jobs to embrace its AI ambitions. This headline, it hit me like a jolt. It sparked deep introspection within me from both a consultant and a client perspective. I was actually transported back to my own journey from being a software consultant to being a full-fledged strategic business consultant. The headline stuck me to question if Accenture is rapidly erasing the boundaries between a boutique strategy firm and hardcore IT players like Infosys and TCS. Before I move forward, let me tell you, I'm shaken about the 11,000 job losses. I'm shaken because these were 11,000 careers, 11,000 individuals, 11,000 dreams that turned upside down, not due to their performance or an economic downturn or even the deglobalization trend. These dreams were curtailed by Accenture's daring pivot to fully embrace artificial intelligence, a bold move evident by the layoffs of 11,000 traditional business consultants, and all in the name of an AI-driven future. The whole thing got me nostalgic about my own journey as a consultant. I still remember those late nights in war rooms, sketching big, bold strategies and plans on whiteboards, and thanks to the clients, fueled by endless cups of questionable coffee. Of course, no pun intended. I'm going to talk about two big questions that arise from Accenture's actions. Is Accenture's shake-up slashing 11,000 jobs the final curtain for those good old consulting days? Are we waving goodbye to the human spark of strategy and connection? Question 2. Is Accenture turning into an IT powerhouse like Infosys or TCS, swapping tailored suits for server stacks? Or, as some folks murmur in the background, that Accenture's AI shift is just a shiny new pen for scribbling the same old client playbook, just with a fancier cookie cutter twist. Hello everyone, my name is Sid and I am thrilled to be here with you today, speaking to practicing consultants juggling boardroom egos and the aspiring ones who are dreaming of their first big pitch to C-suite audience. Welcome to the Consulting in AI era, beyond the hype, where we'll talk about not just 11,000 job cuts, but a bigger question of if AI is killing consulting or creating its future. Now, without further ado, let us dive into Accenture's blockbuster move and find out if consulting's heart is still beating or if it is being replaced by a shiny algorithm. To set the stage, let's first quickly unpack the Accenture saga, or the story as some call it. Between May and August 2025, they slashed 11,000 jobs, trimming the global headcount from 791,000 to 779,000. Accenture CEO Julie Sweet calls it reinvention, waving goodbye to roles that can't keep up with the AI's fast lane. Very frankly, technology goes obsolete, but business and business consultants, they don't go obsolete. They just reinvent themselves. And I find it very strange that those 11,000 people who were on the Accenture payroll all this while suddenly overnight became obsolete. Putting that aside, Accenture has doubled the AI and data specialists to 77,000 since 2023. They've trained over 550,000 employees in generative AI alone. And yes, that's more than the population of a small city. And Accenture racked up $5.1 billion in AI revenue bookings last fiscal year 2024. Any guesses for the Q4 revenue alone? Hold your breath. And yes, it was up 7% to $17.6 billion, beating expectations. It was, or I would say, it seems, it's the revenue that drives, not the skill. You get me money and you stay in work. You get me money, you stay in business. Anyways, Accenture's move isn't a step back. It's a daring pivot worthy of a Hollywood blockbuster, channeling $1 billion in restructuring savings to supercharge the AI firepower. Now with the stage set, let's talk about the first $1 million question, or maybe $5.1 billion question to be precise. Is Accenture becoming Infosys or TCS? Now for those of my friends who are not yet fluent in global technology landscape or still warming up to IT, Infosys and TCS are the superstars of scalable technology solutions. They boast nearly 1 million employees between them, pumping out cloud migration, software and AI implementations quicker than any of us can say digital transformation. Their USP? Efficiency, automating processes, leveraging low-cost hubs, and scaling like there's no tomorrow. Accenture traditionally was the C-suite's poet laureate, crafting bespoke strategies over espressos, not just coding pipelines. But with 70% of the revenue now from digital, cloud and security, they're chasing the same tech-heavy contracts as the likes of TCS and Infosys. Clients are demanding strategy and execution as a package, and Accenture is confident that AI can deliver both. Yes, always I've seen a disconnect between strategy and execution. Strategy is like talking at like 50,000 feet, but to actually bring strategy to work the talk, you have to be on the ground. And I've always seen a disconnect. And I really appreciate and really go with what the client's expectations are. But let me again ask you, can AI deliver both? We will find it out when we go further into the episode. Accenture claim or Accenture confidence that AI can deliver both is like they have swapped their pinstripe Armanis for a TCS Infosys hoodie, sleek, techy and ready to scale. Now, some have a hypothesis that AI's impact on traditional business consulting is overhyped. They say AI implementations are tech-heavy beasts. Think about servers, codes, and data pipelines. But for consulting firms, they say it's just about crafting business use cases, like figuring out how AI can streamline a supply chain or charm customers with personalization. Sounds familiar, right? Typical consulting playbook. Now let's talk about classic consulting. Sitting with the client, co-discovering the pain points and tailoring solutions. No need to rewrite the consulting handbook, right? Just swap the PowerPoint for a neural network and call it a day. Let's put that hypothesis to test with a wink at history. At a very macro level, business consulting's heart beats on 3 pillars: strategy, people, and change. Strategy is vision, dreaming up what if scenarios that align with the company's soul, not just with spreadsheets. People are the pulse, coaching leaders, rallying teams, navigating egos smoother than a diplomat at a cocktail party. And change is the art of spinning resistance into momentum, making bold visions come alive, making motivated people both motivated and successful. And sorry, change enablement gurus and my ex-colleagues, forgive me for not calling it a science or even a pseudoscience. Apology rendered, and we'll move on. Developing AI use cases fits right in. You, as a business consultant, unearth a client's needs, design an AI model to solve them, and voila, customize solutions just like the good old days of whiteboard wizardry. But let's not get too cozy with the nostalgia. History has got lessons. In 1990s, enterprise resource planning, ERP, systems strutted it, promising to automate finance, HR and supply chain, making consultants seem like relics. I even remember a senior colleague of mine who once told a client that implement ERP and business transformation would happen on its own. And I was shocked. And yes, the client, he took his advice and he ended up hiring an IT consultant without feeling the need to take a top-down approach. That's what business consulting is all about. After ERP, business intelligence or BI and decision support systems, DSS, were the next buzzwords, hyped as decision-making magic. Fewer humans needed. Right? You remember that? Well, let me tell you, wrong. ERP streamlined processes, but implementation tagged without consultant customizing for culture and strategic alignment. BI, it gave us dashboards, flashier than a sci-fi movie. But who made sense of trends in a chaotic market? And decision support systems? They modeled scenarios. They couldn't handle ethical dilemmas, stakeholder whispers, geopolitical landscape and macroeconomic impact on strategy. So I believe it is prudent to interpret that these tools didn't replace business consultants. They rather amplified business consultants, freeing them to focus on judgment, creativity, and that human spark no machine can mimic. AI, especially machine learning, is the latest consulting buzzword and it's got more pizzas than ERP ever dreamt of. Machine learning, it transforms strategy. Imagine advising a retail client where ML predicts with precision that makes a fortune teller jealous, spotting patterns in customer behavior or supply chain risks. It's a game changer. 64% of business report productivity gains from AI, and Accenture's $5.1 billion booking is a proof that it's not a hype. But here's the catch. ML is only as good as its data and the humans steering it. Without strategic oversight, it's just a fancy calculator. We don't just deploy ML, we shape it. We ask, does this model align with the client's vision? Can it pivot when market throws a curveball? Machine learning enhances strategy, but strategy runs the show. It's a partnership, it's not a coup. So, is AI just a new spin on use cases? Yes and no. Crafting AI use cases builds on a knack for code discovery and customization. But AI's impact is bigger than a new pen for the same old playbook. AI is tech heavy, sure, demanding skills in ML, data pipelines, and systems integration. Stuff that makes traditional consultants reach for an espresso. But that was never a traditional consultant's job anymore. A traditional consultant looks at the initiative that needs to be taken for the techies or for the people who implement the automation or efficiency improvement systems. Automating routine tasks like research and analysis, saving 3 to 4 hours daily, but also shrinking headcount for repetitive roles. A consultant or a business consultant is supposed to be entrusted with birthing new business models like reusable AI tools, turning consulting firms from one-off advice to scalable solutions. Accenture's layoff, it screams this. They are not just cutting jobs, they are rewriting, or I would say they are rewiring for a learner, tech-driven future. Like an IT firm with a consulting swagger. And of course, the price tag. Now here's where it gets serious. Let me talk about artificial intelligence ethics. This isn't a buzzword you nod at in meetings. It's a moral compass as a consultant and as a client alike. Picture building a machine learning model to streamline hiring for a Fortune 500. It's fast, sorting resumes before you can say HR. But if the data is biased, let's say favoring male candidates or Ivy League grads, it's a diversity disaster. Now let me talk about a real case here. Amazon's AI recruiting tools once played favorites with men because it learned from male-heavy resumes. As business consultants, we are the fairness police. We audit for bias. We ensure transparency. And more importantly, we protect data privacy under the laws like GDPR. Ethics isn't a checkbox, it's strategic. A post AI rollout can sink reputations, spark lawsuits, or turn clients into internet memes. Practicing consultants, make your mission to weave ethical AI into every project. Aspiring ones, your edge is asking, is this model fair, inclusive, sustainable? Now Accenture's scale, 550,000 employees trained on AI means 550,000 chances to nail ethics or trip over it. Will Accenture assume the responsibility of AI ethics and accountability? Now we'll circle back to people and change, the very soul of traditional consulting. AI can crunch data faster than a super fast, super intelligent analyst, but it can't lead a cultural shift. Accenture's layoffs aren't just about technology, they're about managing change with a heart. Let me ask a question. Did Accenture explore the options of reskilling 550,000 employees for AI without leaving 11,000 in the dust? Could Accenture have handled displacement with compassion, not just a severance check? As a consultant, we blend ML-driven insights with human leadership, guiding organizations to adopt AI responsibility, serving people and not just profits. Strategy without ethics is a PowerPoint nobody reads. Ethics without strategy is a lecture nobody hears. Lastly, coming back to the big question, is AI beginning of the end of the good old consulting days? Well, I would firmly say no. AI use cases build on what we have already done, co-discovering needs, tailoring solutions. But AI is pushing us further, demanding new skills, leaner firms, and ethical rigor. Accenture's pivot isn't the death of consulting, it's a wake-up call. Yes, they're channeling Infosys TCS vibes, scaling AI to bite to tech-heavy contracts. But the consulting DNA, strategy people change, it still pulses. Infosys or TCS might build on AI systems. Accenture, it designs the business vision around it, aligns the workforce, drives the transformation. The good old days aren't over. They're just getting a techie touch-up. AI doesn't replace the whiteboard. It just makes the sketches sharper. In short, AI is not your robotic nightmare. It's a reinvention. Just as ERP, BI and DSS or decision support systems pushed us to new heights, AI will too. If we wield it with intelligence, ethics and a dash of human charm. My message to practicing consultants: embrace ML to turbocharge your strategies, but keep ethics as your North Star. And my message to aspiring ones: build your toolkit, study strategy, master people skills, learn change management, get AI literate. Traditional consulting still remains your core skill, and AI is the icing on the cake. Knowing only AI will not make you a decent business consultant. Take a course in ethical AI, tinker with machine learning models, ask the cheeky questions that keep clients honest. The future consultant is a hybrid, tech-savvy, human-centered, ethically grounded, and maybe a little witty, which I presume I am or I was. My parting words: Accenture's 11,000 layoffs are not the end of traditional consulting. They are a challenge to redefine. AI is here, but it's not the story's hero. You are the story's hero. Let's not chase code like IT firms or yearn for the days of endless PowerPoints. Let's redefine consulting as a bridge between machines and meaning with a people touch. The good old days, they're not gone. They're getting better. Strategy by strategy, person by person, change by change, and day by day. So keep moving forward, consult boldly, and build a future where AI amplifies our humanity and not replaces it. And maybe bring back the whiteboard just for the old times' sake. Bye-bye and thanks for listening. Take care.